Hi team, my name is Arthur Sanchez. Today I will be showing you the indoor float expectations and what we put above the float and below the float. So starting off, we always want to lead off with the 2.5s. As the order comes in, you always want to put the freshest stuff inside the store. Remember that it's inside, it's in a high traffic location, so we want to maintain it fresh every day. As we go backwards, we want to put the 9 centimeters after the 2.5s, 9 centimeter succulents. So 9 centimeter succulents, this is the 2.5. So once again, lead off with the 2.5s, 9 centimeter succulents. We then go to the 2.5 grafted. Now the reason why we separated is because of price point. We don't want to mix two price points together and confuse the customers. So we have our 2.5 grafted, followed by our 9 centimeter Cosmix and 9 centimeter straw flowers. Once again, these are the same size as your regular 9 centimeters, but we separate them due to price point. As you can see, for the entire table, everything is blocked, everything is color coded, nice and contrasting colors all the way around. Towards the back, we have our 9 centimeter aloes. As the tags face towards the end, we want to make sure that the tags inside the pots are also facing outward. And towards the back, we have our Kalanchoe, Cork Kalanchoe. At the very end, we have our 2 racks of succulents. Now the racks should be merchandise featuring your dish gardens. And as you receive these racks, the back of the rack contains a header. You want to take that off and you want to staple it right towards the back of the float. That way, as customers come in, they don't see an eyesore with the wooden racks. Instead, they see this nice sign featuring our succulent variety. Towards the bottom of the float, we want to feature RTUs. You can see we have a variety of RTUs right now. So these are varieties of RTUs. Now, a couple things to avoid when merchandising the bottom of the floats. Big no-no, the drop-in deco succulents. These go outside. Same for our clay pots, also considered an outdoor container. Last but not least, our 12-inch succulent garden containers. So these 3 items are to be featured outside on end caps on the apron boats. Once again, this is the succulent table, succulent float. Thank you guys.
Team, welcome to the 2022 Merchandising Expectations. We will be covering what needs to be featured on end caps, table, flying V's, and your signage. Your end caps need to be featured with RTUs, which means ready to use items, and are usually the decorative pots that are ready to use. Your 12 by 24 sign holders need to be featured on the end caps, and this would allow the customers to know what's on the actual boat, whether it's an annual, perennial, so on and so forth. Now, if your item on your boat is a geranium, it would be nice to go ahead and feature geraniums above on the flying V's to keep it consistent. All right, team, we're gonna move on to boat number 2. Once again, boat number 2 features RTUs on the end caps. Look at these gorgeous snapdragons. And once again, the signage reflects what we currently have featured on our table. In this case, is Big Earl. All right, team, moving on to boat number 3. The expectations for boat number 3 for POG, it's pansies on one side, primrose on the other. As you can see, we're featuring pansies on the end cap. And again, it's an RTU, ready to use item, decorative, and ready to be showcasing your home. Now, if we are showcasing pansies on the end cap, pansies on the table and pansies on the flying V, that's the perfect scenario. That's what we want to do. When the hanging baskets arrive, this is exactly what we're looking for. The tag facing forward. If this is not the case, then you can always report it to the quality control team, or otherwise make your immediate supervisor aware of it. All right, team. Moving on to the Monster Cart and the A-frame. I'm going to show you what the expectations are for these. The Monster Cart and A-frame should be the first thing that we service at the beginning of each store visit. All right, who comes in through the main entrance? Store manager, Brian Parker, and your district manager. So your Monster Cart and A-frame in theory should always be just like at home, fresh and clean. Your Monster Cart has 3 shelves. And of course, if we have an overflow amount of product, we can go ahead and overflow them to the concrete. Your bars must be full. Labels facing forward. And the key, fresh and clean. Moving on to the A-frame. On your A-frame, you can go ahead and feature 3 hanging baskets per bar. And if there's an overflow amount of hanging baskets, again, same scenario, go ahead and overflow them onto the concrete.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 680 Balboa here in beautiful South San Diego. Let's go ahead and walk inside garden. For this particular store, we have a cactus collection on one side and then the seasonal table on the other side. But we started off with our minis on one side and our 2.5s on the other. Then we go all the way across with 9cm cactus and succulents. We have a couple wall baskets that we use as extra display. All we did was just put a quick screw in between and works perfectly for that display. On our left hand side now we have the promo table. For this month we actually have a variety. For this particular store we have a traditional 4 deep set. So we have our bare root on one side and our following table is going to be our 6-pack table. So here we have our overflowing end cap with 1 gallon geranium, 2 colors. You want to keep it 2 colors at the most, same variety. So make sure we have that. We have our annual header on there. We are to lead off this table with either 6-pack viola or 6-pack pansy, whatever it is that you have at your store at the moment. And then when we jump to the pansies, we have the exact same thing. We have blue on one side and yellow, which is our new 2022 merchandising expectations as far as aisle-to-aisle merchandising. So we have some beautiful pansies. Here we actually have pansy on one side and snapdragon, which is fine. This is where it comes down where what happens if I don't have enough blocks or enough pansy to go back to back. Here's where we go to, back to back with the same program, same 6-packs. We do have our 10% off sign on here as well. So make sure you guys get those signs up. After our 6-pack table, we have our 4-inch right behind it. So we have some beautiful kale back to back with some pansies. We actually sold 2 white ones, so that's why you see those two odd flats there. But this look you're trying to go for, you're trying to mirror what you have on one side. So for example, you have alyssum on one side, you have the stock on the other side. Again, this is the aisle tile merchandising expectation for 2022. Right behind our 4-inch, we have our 1 gallon color. Same thing. If you would have lantana of both colors, you would go with one side white, one side purple. For this particular video, we only had a couple rows, so we went ahead and left the lantana all together, grouped together, mirrored by a 1 gallon geranium. So this is our branded item table. For this particular POG, we are to lead off with Cyclamen and followed by Vigoro. So here we have our Vigoro end cap. Once again, we have our Vigoro signage here. As your sign kits arrive, make sure we switch those out. Get those nice signs up for this year. You want to put them on the end cap. For this particular store, we have a 3-tiered end cap. And then we lead off the table with 4-inch Cyclamen here. We do have a promo going on right now, 3 for $12. So whenever there is a promo, very important to make sure you guys get those signs up. If for some reason we haven't shipped yet the the bench carts, which we have pre-printed at the facility, make sure we get a Home Depot associate or somebody involved to get those signs up. If not, then we handwrite some ourselves. So lead off 4-inch on both sides, 4-inch cyclamen. We have tons of red, so we have red on both sides. And then we jump into our 6-inch cyclamen. Once again, we have a promo for that. We have the bench cards up. So make sure you get those bench cards every time there's a promo going on. And we actually mirror it with the white. So here we had 2 colors, we had red and white. So that's the look you're going for. As soon as we're done with the 6-inch cyclamen, we jump into our bigger, our branded item table. So here we have some beautiful wallflowers, followed by some anemones on the other side, a 1 gallon. So once again, that mirror look that you're trying to go for. So we have this, and then we jump into our Bacopa with some nature nutrients on the other side. So new for 2022, we have our Smart Planet in the front now. Ground cover was pushed to the back. So here we lead off with, once again, a 1 gallon item. Most of you guys have seen the lavender already shipped in the Smart Planet container. We are gonna have the Smart Planet containers for a lot of drought tolerant plants. For example, you guys saw the geraniums on one of the end cups earlier in the video, some lavender now. So we're gonna actually have a Smart Planet 1 gallon table eventually on our POG. If I'm not mistaken, by March, I know it's gonna be on that POG. So here we did the same thing. We have our header up front and center, and we mirror and we start off our table with the 1 gallon succulents. So once again, you want to start off with your most expensive. So for 1 gallon, we got these beautiful platinums here, nice aeoniums, and then we go back to our basic 1 gallon. Again, that mirroring effect, although it's not the same variety, we have the different blocking and it's the same program, which is the look you're going for. Back to back, same program, 1 gallon. Nice color contrast in the front. Very important, you go from 1 gallon succulents to 2 gallon succulents. You want to keep those succulents grouped together. And then we jump into our 2 gallon shrubs. We have shrubs here back to back as well. Some nice blocking, some nice aisle to aisle merchandising. You want to make sure that when we merchandise the Smart Planet, you want to have the Smart Planet on the container, and this is on the front, so it leads off. So make sure we get all those labels forward. And as you can tell on the bottom, we have 5 gallon succulents skirting this table. So make sure that we are getting those into the stores and skirting just like we do our cactus collection. So here we have our third-party vendor for the edibles. You want to make sure that we are touching this display on a daily basis. Make sure that we bring everything forward, nice labels forward. So we have the other rack here as well. You want to make sure that we have all these forward. We have, the pricing and everything in front. We got some grapes here as well. Down the line, we are gonna, when we do put the 50% off signage on here, we usually have an envelope, which is located inside the rack down here. So whenever we get direction to go 50% off, we just take this out from here and slap a 50% sign on there. So make sure we're not throwing those away. And then as we were walking, I did see a couple of flats under the table. So we do have a plastic shortage right now. So let's make sure that we walk our tables, and if there's anything under, we send it back to the facility. Make sure that you guys are helping us out with that one. And that's all we have for 22 expectations. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great year.